What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Hellcat Swap S10 build. First ever. Now guys, the motor is in. And obviously on this episode, we're gonna try a few things different. First off, we're in a hunt for an alternator. And no, I don't wanna go and spend crazy money, so we'll see how we're gonna be able to do that because they're very expensive. So alternator, starter, some manifolds. I've been looking at Summit. I've been looking at some factory ones, so we're gonna first try and see if we could locate some factory ones and then go from there ordering something from Summit. But man, this thing looks crazy in here. Looks like a diamond, bling bling. Now, as most of you guys seen, we had to do some minor firewall movement back there and some cutouts, and we're gonna have to do some more because there's one thing that's really not fitting is this supercharger water manifold back there. Now, Earl makes a smaller one that's probably like 1 7/8 inches. So this whole hump right here, it'll look just like this, but over here, which actually gives us clearance right at the back of this motor right here where it might be hitting the firewall. Now, I don't know, man, $400 and change plus tax, or trim out a little more of the firewall to make the factory one fit. That might be a plan as well, but we'll see what happens. Now, another huge thing that we have to address is the steering. We had to cut out that whole steering pocket because it was hitting the valve cover. We might have to change it up and look for an S10 race column. I don't know if it's gonna be Motion Race Work, Innovative Racecraft. Several different companies make that column, so I gotta see, which one we're gonna put in here, but definitely we're gonna have to do some upgrades to that area. As you can see down there, and I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, I'm here to tell you guys the truth, because I don't know who's gonna wanna do a Hemi swap or anything like that in the future. So I wanna make sure that I explain it as properly as possible. So right here is our manifold, wherever that's gonna come out, and we don't have one yet. But obviously here, let me move this out of the way. You can see better there. This is where the steering column used to come out. Now I gotta bring it out down there and hopefully clear this exhaust manifold and then obviously route it all the way to the steering gearbox. I'm trying not to go rack and pinion or nothing like that, so this is the problems that we're facing. Hopefully we find some manifolds that will fit. And as I was stating on episode 2, I really do not want to run any kind of fender exits on this motor because that'd probably be the easiest option, manifold out the fender. I would love to run full exhaust since this is not only going to be no prep truck, but it's also going to be a street vehicle. So I want to be able to ride this in on the street where it's not too rowdy. I could always put some cutouts if we do full exhaust if I really want that rowdiness, but we all know that this ain't like a turbo that will try to quiet down your exhaust. This is gonna be loud, and man, I don't want no trouble with the popo. So this entire dash is gonna come out because obviously we're gonna have to, work around it and see when we cut that firewall. Seats are gonna have to come out. A lot of you guys have told me to go and find some Hellcat seats and run Hellcat seats. I just might have these recovered this center section and do like a Hellcat emblem or something of that nature. Man, I really like these Corvette seats and the way they fit, and they got custom made brackets. So first things first, guys, we gotta go part hunting. We can't go any further without it, so let's go. Well, guys, good news. We were able to allocate some of the parts. One of our good friends, Misael, he's a fellow racer. He deals specifically with Dodge and Hellcats and stuff like that. I reached out to him and he told me, that he'd had an alternator, the starter, some manifolds, something that we need for the oil cooler as well. So we're getting a double whammy. We're headed to the track, watch some racing, and pick up these cool parts. All right, guys, so I think my buddy's here, man, Misael, man. What up, bro?
What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Awesome, bro, that you had those parts, man. I can't believe that I called you, man, and
Yeah,
you had
man.
them.
Yeah.
So, guys, man, we called Misael, and he basically has the, what do you got?
Got these
He's got the alternator there.
for the Hellcat.
He's got the starter. So,
The
everything that we
alternator,
need to
these
mock up.
manifolds.
There's some manifolds
Yeah,
there,
man.
guys.
I get tons of extra parts. Like when I do builds and stuff
Yeah.
for other people, they either don't want them no more, so I just have them on the side for extra parts.
So, let the internet know right now, man, what is it that you do?
Well, I own an automotive repair shop down in Naples. It's called Proline Auto Care, and we're a general automotive repair shop. And sometimes, if the customer comes in with a Mopar, Dodge, we'll modify it. Supercharger, nitrous, what do you want?
Nice, man. And speaking of Dodges, man, let's check out your hot rod.
It's been a process building this thing. So it's something every week, every time I go to the track, it's always something changing to make it even better.
Nice, man. So tell me about
That's
it.
the thing, I don't stay in one spot. I always try to make it better
Improve.
as I go, yeah.
So what's the story behind the car?
Well, I bought the car, it was a rental,
Really?
yeah. So it only had like 30,000 miles.
Nice.
But when I bought it, the first week I put nitrous on it. Then we went to the track down in Bradenton to track course. And that's when I actually met Mike for the first time, Canadian Mike.
Yeah.
And so from there, man, I just kept going and going. For a while, I kept running just on nitrous, like just not even full bolt on, just on nitrous. Then I was like, well, let's build it. Nothing happened to the engine, so I was like, let's just build it. So I started building it, and then from there, it just kept progressing, everything, on and on and on.
So what are we looking at now?
So now,
Because it doesn't look stock at all.
I have 2.7 blower Demon that I got from my girlfriend, Ricky Wright. But he was a big help on this build. My old setup was 392 with a Holly high ram with a shit ton of nitrous. I'm talking 450, 500 shots.
So this
of
is still a
nitrous.
392 and you adapted a blower on it?
Yeah, it's still a
Wow.
Forge 392 crank, but Forge, completely built, nothing stock but the crankshaft. And we went 30 over in the pistons. At the time, it was the biggest size that you can get. Now you can probably go bigger. But I took the high ram off. We went with a 2.7 blower. And
That's interesting,
it was
man.
challenging. Took a lot of time and a lot of money to do this and a lot of changing. I had to go with a completely different fuel system, like delete the factory and go with a Forge Innovation triple pump, like entirely new. Like you can see here, regulator run down to the fuel rails and back.
A
And
lot of work, man, a lot of work. But I
yeah.
bet you it's faster now, right?
Yes, yes. It went 8.9 at Bradenton on blower alone. And I
Nice.
still have a 300 shot
Wow.
that I haven't used yet.
Oh boy.
So my tuner and I, we're really working on it.
To make it happen. Yeah, but 8.9, man, that's impressive number. Especially, we all know that these cars are pretty heavy too. I seen you
Yeah.
lighting it up. Tell me about that interior you got.
Well, only thing I did was just took the seats out. Everything else is still in here. Car still has AC. So if I want to go driving with it, I can drive with the AC on.
Street car.
Yeah,
8.9 street car.
yeah.
Nice, man.
Cut in a 12960.
Wow. Real
On
good, man.
17s, man.
That's nuts.
So,
Wow. Well,
we had to do a whole lot of changes last week on the suspension. So we went with Viking shocks front and back. So that should help with the new no prep event coming up in February.
So you'll be doing some testing tonight?
Yeah,
Nice, man.
yeah. To
Well,
see if I can
make
put
it happen.
the power down. That's my biggest disadvantage here in Makali is hooking. I have the horsepower, but it's just
Hard to
putting
get it
down.
to stick right here.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, brother, I appreciate you, dude, and we're gonna get ready to see some rips, and thank you for everything and the parts you've loaned us out here to try and make it happen, man.
No problem, man.
Can't do it without you, bro. And I'm pretty sure that any question that I might have concerning, the
Yeah, bro.
Hellcat, you probably be able to help me out and answer
Yeah, man.
them.
Of course, of course.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So we got our parts from our good friend Misael, and as you can see, we mounted the alternator, and there's no clearance issue with that. We mounted the starter as well. Motor's gonna come up a little bit, so that should give us the clearance. If not, we'll notch the frame over here. Could always run a mini starter, but I mean, that's probably the best alternative. We ended up getting these manifolds, but they won't work. They're too big. These are off of like SRT. They bolt on, but they just won't work. The space is definitely limited. So we're gonna go and search the net, see if we got any options. Maybe take a look at Summit, see if they got anything for a Hemi swap. So we went and found these Hooker Blackheart Gen 3 Hemi swap headers, and we ordered them online. We're gonna wait for them to get here and see if this will give us the clearance we need. We might have to modify them, but they're stainless steel, so welding onto them will not be a problem. So real quick, guys, this project might take longer than expected, but man, we're going along with it. So until we don't have these specific parts that we need, we really can't weld the motor mounts in, but we're looking forward to getting them soon. Should be here this week. Try out those manifolds and see if they end up working for us. Okay, guys, so we got in the mail the Hooker Blackhearts exhaust for the Hellcat swapped S10. Let's see if that's gonna work. Well, here we got our first one, compact as possible, barrel style. And even if this flange don't work, we could always cut it off here. It's stainless. So let's test fit, see what we got. I mean, I don't think we're gonna find anything tighter than this. All right, guys, so real quick, first test impression on the passenger side. And it looks like we're good, man. I see where it's touching the firewall right here, but we might just cut this back and then V-band the exhaust. We're definitely not gonna run these flanges. We're gonna V-band them. So that would probably fix our issue, but man, it's looking good. This actually has even better clearance than the LS factory ones I had, the shorty headers. They were a pain in the rear. Now all we could do is hope that the driver's side is just as nice. Well, guys, we assembled the driver's side headers, and boy, let me tell you, they do not look bad at all. Obviously, that's where the steering issue is. But we're gonna figure that out to connect it over here to the steering box. But that header does not look bad at all. Maybe a little modification to it, but damn, that looks good. I'm really blown back by, the fitment of these things, man. They almost look like they were made for this truck, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, if we just cut it somewhere around there and V-band it, man, we won't have no kind of clearance issue. I love the way they're fitting, and it actually giving me hope for us to be able to run full exhaust on this truck. So there we have it, guys. Quick recap. We got the manifolds in, we got the starter in, we got the alternator in, and man, thank you to my buddy Misael for providing some of those Mako parts where we didn't have to spend a dime on. Man, I truly appreciate you, brother. So guys, yeah, we're just waiting on the steering column to arrive in order to button everything all up, man. But on the next video, we're gonna button up that steering column. We're gonna cut that exhaust off and weld those V-bands on it. We're gonna weld the motor mounts in, fab up a transmission cross member, man, and we're gonna have this thing fully set in. So guys, I appreciate the likes, the comment, the subscribe. Keep them coming, guys, and thank you guys for joining me on this journey, man, of the Hellcat swapped S10, also known as the SR10, aka Sleepy Joe. Remember, guys, love God, love family, and always love racing. See you guys on the next one.